I'll call the meeting to order. Our first item is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, welcome to the school board meeting of Marshall Public Schools. Our next item is reading of our mission statement. Sarah.
Thank you. The mission of the Marshall Public School District is to educate, support, and prepare all learners for success.
Thank you. Moving on to approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second. A motion by Jeff and a second by Tim to approve our agenda. Is there any discussion or changes? If not, I'll call for the vote. And the agenda is approved. Our next item is our student recognitions. This is something we do every month, so this will be the last one for this year. But anyway, how this works is when one of us, we're going to read each one of your bios. When you hear your name, I want you to stand so we know who we're talking about. And we'll each read a short paragraph about you. So we're going to start with Mary.
All right. So for Parkside, we have Quinn, and how do you pronounce your last name? Teets. Okay, dominated by Mrs. Brigger. Quinn is an avid learner and natural leader. I nominated Quinn to be recognized because she works very hard at every area of her day in school. Quinn loves a good challenge. She has become an amazing and confident reader, writer, and mathematician this past year in first grade. She learns from mistakes, independently seeks out new learning, and puts it into practice. She has a love of learning and knowledge, which she shares with her fellow classmates, and has a huge smile. She is a helper and a role model in her classmates every day at school, and in her spare time, she shares her leadership skills and love of learning with her preschool sister, Tatum. Her friends, and in sports, Tatum, and her friends. And in sports such as hockey, any teacher at Parkside who has worked with Quinn can state that she truly is a terrific Tiger.
Awesome.
Before we go on, when we get done, I got certificates for each one of you kids, and we're going to meet back there by that tiger banner to take your picture. So stick around. Okay, Sarah.
Great. In Southview, we have Bram Robinson, nominated by Mrs. McKinnon. Bram has made so much progress this school year. He started off the year new to our school, and as he got more acclimated to our building and with our teachers, he began to come out of his shell, and he has really grown. He is such a fun kid, always sharing random fun facts with his teachers and classmates. He comes to school with a smile on his face each day, and he puts one on my face too. Bram is an excellent example of how to show Tiger pride. He is a great role model for others, and I know he'll continue to grow and shine over at the middle school next year. Keep being amazing.
All right, I have Bryant. Is it sign? Is he here? Maybe not. Well, I'll read his nomination. He was nominated by Mrs. Smith. Bryant is a careful, thoughtful, hardworking student. His calm demeanor and positive attitude make him an approachable teammate and friend. Always willing to help and ready with a smile for his peers each day, he exemplifies the Tiger traits. He is a strong leader that will surely continue to do amazing things in the future.
From the high school, Casey Smith, nominated by Mr. Benson. Casey is always on time for school and class. He has great attendance with school, and teachers report that he possesses many outstanding characteristics. Mr. Benson, one of Casey's teachers, reports Casey exemplifies reliability, kindness, and a strong work ethic as a student. He consistently demonstrates perseverance and a dedicated commitment to daily improvement. Casey upholds respect towards both peers and staff alike, and he willingly exceeds expectations to assist others in any capacity. Notably, Casey adheres rigorously to school policies, remains focused on tasks, and perseveres admirably even in challenging environments. His exceptional attendance record and embodiment of essential student qualities contribute significantly to the rewarding nature of teaching. Congratulations, Casey, on being named the Marshall High School Student of the Month.
And from the ALC, Zero Wursel. Zero was nominated by Mrs. Elton. Zero is a polite and respectful young man who has been a model student in class. He works hard and doesn't bother anyone else because he is determined to graduate. He has a couple online classes and has been on track for completing them throughout the entire quarter. He is a pleasure to have in class and ends each class with, "Have a nice day, miss." I will miss him next year.
So students, you can come back by the tiger sign back here, and we got a certificate for you. I'll take a picture. Parents, you're welcome to come take pictures as well if you'd like to at this time.
Get out of the way.
There we go. Lined up just right.
Let's give them one more hand.
Thank you all for coming. You're welcome to stay, but you don't have to. So. Our next item is we're going to recognize a couple staff members, a Friend of Education and Teacher of the Year. I'm going to have Jeremy do this.
Yeah, excited to do this. I don't see Mike. Do you guys know if he's not going to make here? Okay. So we're going to recognize Brenda Elton first this evening. Brenda Elton is the MEA Teacher of the Year this year. Congratulations, Brenda. I just want to read what we have in the certificate here. It says, Brenda, thank you for your consistently going above and beyond your job responsibilities. You are an excellent educator, and your rapport with students is respectable. Your award of the MEA Teacher of the Year is deserved, and you are a well-respected leader in our school district. Brenda, you're going to be missed next year. Thank you for everything you've done. We do have a certificate, Brenda. We can take it by the tiger if you like.
I think they should.
Yeah. Then not present this afternoon, but we want to recognize as well as Mike Koffenberg. Mike works with Taher at Parkside. And Mike says, thank you for consistently going above and beyond your job responsibilities. Your rapport with students is respectable and admirable. Your award of an MEA Friend of Education is deserved, and you are well respected in our school district. Thank you.
Next item is our public forum. Is there anybody from the public want to approach the board? Seeing none. Presentation of our teaching and learning. Beth, you're up.
Is this on, Emily? No? Okay, now we're good. All right, super. So I was here to kick off the school year. a couple or a few times earlier this school year, but I'm excited to be back just to recap our year, thinking especially about our professional development and with our theme this year of One District, Many Voices. I'll just click it. There we go. Okay, so this is just a recap of the different professional development opportunities our staff attended or had the opportunity to attend this year during Back to School Workshop Week in August. We had the Pillsbury House Theater join us for their Breaking Ice. As you know, we really focused our Back to School Workshop Week on cultural awareness, meeting that cultural diversity component of teacher relicensure. We also had a multilingual learner student panel where we brought students in and were able to see their perspective of being a multilingual learner at Marshall Public Schools. Don't Press Your Luck with Christy Hastings, a community partners panel, as well as American Indian presentation. So all of our staff, certified and non-certified, had the opportunity to go around to the different presentations on our district-wide day. Then every year we have one day dedicated to a district-wide. It's always in the middle of the school year. This year it fell on February 14th. Our certified staff had breakout sessions in the morning, as well as a big part of our staff, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, was part of the READ Act training. So they had the time to work on their READ Act training, and then in the afternoon was building directed PD time. Our non-certified staff attended a presentation from Western Mental Health on Credible Mind and mental health, not only with our students, but also with our staff members. And then they also presented on student tobacco and cannabis consumption. And then they ended their morning participating in a poverty simulation, living on the edge. All of our non-certified staff had the opportunity to be immersed in the simulation. It was a very powerful simulation. And next year we will have our certified staff also partake in it. That was the one feedback we heard from many staff members is why didn't everybody partake in it? It's just a capacity. They can only do a certain number of people at a time. So our goal is to have all of our staff participate at some point and continuing that next year. And then the BAR framework has been a big focus for Southview and middle school are on year 2 of implementing the BAR framework, and the high school, of course, is on year 6. So Marshall Public Schools is unique that we have the BAR framework at 3 of our 4 schools are in grades 2 through 12th grade. And then, of course, the READ Act training, OLA and early childhood letters. You can see all the people listed up there that were part of phase 1 for that, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. So that was our all of our professional development. It encompasses the entire school year. So now let's focus on the READ Act. It's a big part of the entire state of Minnesota. So there are 3 big requirements, and I'll review them and then tell you and explain to you moving forward what that will look like. So one part of it is professional development, screening, and then curricular resources. So we'll touch a little bit on the professional development side of it. So phase 1, like I mentioned, these were the people that had to. This was passed a couple of years ago. This year, the 24-25 school year, all of those people up there had to partake. Our pre-K teachers were in early childhood letters because that is specific to their grades. Everybody else was in the OLA training. And I'm happy to report that everybody finished their training in the time we needed to finish it, which includes 106 teachers and 5 administrators. So kudos to everybody for sticking it out. And it was a lot of work. They had to dedicate a lot of time to completing that work. And kudos to them for sticking it out, like I said, and finishing that training. Phase 1 will continue next year in the 25-26 school year. So all non-certified staff will attend a smaller portion of a READ Act training. Southwest West Central Cooperative will provide the training for our non-certified staff during workshop week next year. It's an 8-hour training. We decided to split it up into 2 days, so they'll have 4 hours each day. They will have an overview of structured literacy and how it looks in the classroom. And then any new phase 1 teachers. So anybody that's listed under that phase 1 that comes to us brand new next year will need to go through the training as well. So if we have any early childhood teachers, they'll do early childhood letters. Anyone else will participate in the OLA training. If someone comes to us from another district and they already completed a approved READ Act training, they do not need to go through it. But if they come to us and they have not had the training, then they will, according to state statute, have to go through the training or attend the training next year. As well as 5th through 12th grade EL teachers. Our K through 4 teachers were part of phase 1, and now our 5th and middle school and high school EL teachers will also be a part of it. So we'll have a smaller cohort next year, but still people attending the trainings. Phase 2 was supposed to begin in the 25-26 school year. My line is supposed to go right through the middle, but it didn't. But anyways, MDE pushed that back. So they pushed it back to the following school year. So phase 2 are the people up there, 512 ELA teachers, 512 instructional support, and then curriculum directors, 512, which that's me. So then during the 26-27 school year, they will attend or be a part of the training. We do not know what that training will be yet. MDE is still deciding that. So we're just waiting to hear. So next year, we thought we would have another big group going through, but that will be delayed till the following school year. So it'll be a smaller group next year. All right, so screening is a big piece of it. K through 3 or K through 3rd grade. Screening tools, they have been approved. We've been doing this for a couple of years. We actually have been doing it for a few years at Marshall Public Schools. We've used Dibbles. I've lost track. I don't know, Jeremy, if you know how many years it's been. It's been a few years we've used it. So we were happy that it was an MDE approved screener. So we, like I said, we've been using that. What we use the screener for is to screen, identify, and then intervene appropriately for students that aren't meeting grade level benchmarks. We actually chose to do it, use Dibbles all the way through 4th grade as well. And then as well as 5th through 12th students that are not reading at grade level benchmark. Now, just within the past couple of months, MDE now has come out with their guidance on 4th through 12th grade. This requires screening for characteristics of dyslexia in grades 4 through 12. So these are for kiddos who are not demonstrating mastery of foundational reading skills. You can see there is only one approved screener. So this is the screener we will have to use in grades 4 through 12 starting next school year, and it's called CAPTE Read Basics is the name of the screener. So all students that are not demonstrating mastery, they're not reading at grade level, then will take part in the CAPTE Read Basics. Again, so we can screen, identify, and intervene because the state law reads every student reading at grade level every year. Remember, it used to be by 3rd grade, but now it's reading at grade level every year. So that is something that will be new to us next year. I'm excited about it. We struggle with what is appropriate for our middle and high school kids. This screener is made for middle and high school. So it'll be nice to have that and be able to use the tools and things that come along with it to help those students as well. All right, then the third part is curricular resources. So this was also passed as part of the READ Act, that we have to use evidence-based curriculum and intervention materials mastery. You can see phonemic awareness, phonics, vocabulary development, reading fluency, and reading comprehension. It's all based on the science of reading. MDE works in conjunction with Carey All Institute, which is out of the University of Minnesota. And they have a list of resources it's a very small list of highly aligned resources. They have resources that are partially aligned, and then they have resources that are minimally aligned. We've done a lot of work, K-12, in looking at those different resources and deciding what are we going to use for resources for our students to ensure that we're using evidence-based curriculum that are aligned and based in the the science of reading. So you can see here our plan. A lot of this we're already using. We're just refining what we are doing. But Parkside will continue with Haggerty, really great reading, and then we will begin Bridge to Writing, which is a comprehensive writing curriculum. We had a few teachers pilot it this year and saw some great results. So we'll be moving forward with all teachers using it next year. Southview continuing with really great reading for our phonics piece in 2nd grade, and then 95% group in 3rd and 4th grade. And we had teachers, 2 at each grade level, pilot the Benchmark Advanced and really liked that. We saw some great things with that as well. So we'll be using that in grades 2 through 4 next year, the Benchmark Advanced curriculum. Middle school and high school, we're finishing up some pilots, deciding exactly what we want to do to move forward. We were on hold with middle and high school. We were waiting for the MDE list. And I don't remember when it was this winter sometime they said, well, we're actually not going to provide you with that list. So then, all right, we'll move forward. So they provided us a list with technically it's K-5 resources that fall in one of those minimally or highly aligned or partially aligned. Any of those, a very small list. They are not doing that for middle and high school. They now are going to focus on intervention. That's supposed to, I believe, come maybe November next school year or something. I don't know. Everything keeps getting delayed. But we are seeing really great things. Darcy shared with Jeremy and I at the end of last week their DIVLS results. And again, it's all about screening, identifying, intervening, and using those evidence-based curriculums and really, like I said, seeing amazing results. And I'm going to share with you just a little bit of, in kindergarten, they started the school year with 26% of students at benchmark, and they ended the year at 82%, either at or above benchmark. So phenomenal growth with our kindergartners. And our first graders started 34% and ended the year at 77% at or above benchmark. So it just shows and proves that with appropriate Tier 1, we call it Tier 1. That's the curriculum that everybody gets as well as intervention. Our kids can make great progress, and they are. I think that might be the end. Yes. Super. So we wanted just to give you a quick update, a brief overview of how our professional development looked this year, as well as REDACT, because it's still a huge part of the district.
I would just like to applaud and thank all the teachers that got through that training and went through the training and got it done. 'Cause
Absolutely.
my daughter did the letters training, and she said it's pretty intense and pretty time consuming and a lot of work. So thanks to all the teachers that went through that and are going to go through it or whenever that happens. So appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, I think it is something that, states putting these requirements, and it's stressful because there's so many moving pieces and the dates have changed a few times with different things. Secondary, we should be ready to go, and we're still waiting for guidance on what that's going to look like. But it's very encouraging when we get to this point and we're starting to see the results at elementary level. And, they tell us you have to pick a screener and we're going to make a list you can pick from. There's one on the list. Well, it feels like we don't get much choice. But then we start looking at it. So, well, this actually does kind of look like this will make sense. We just, one piece at a time, figure out how we can apply and use that in our classrooms. It certainly means we have to consider to evaluate, other assessments and that sort of thing too, and how we can make that all work. But I think the teachers have done a great job with that. Beth's done a nice job organizing that. I just want to say thank you as well.
Super. Thank you.
Beth?
Thank you.
Next item is the consent agenda. I'll need a motion to approve.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion by Sarah Runcie and a second by Sarah Brink. I will call for the vote. That is approved. Next item is approval of bills for April of 2025. I assume that's supposed to be.
Motion.
Thanks, Jeff.
I'll second.
Is that Mary?
Yep.
There's a motion by Jeff and a second by Mary to approve the bills for April of 25. Any further discussion? I'll call for the vote. That is approved. Treasurer's report, any further discussion on that?
Sure, I can just share a little bit about the financials, which are through April of 2025. At this point, we should be at about 83% of our budget for the year. And with the 2 months left in the fiscal year, we're actually for revenues at about 80.6%. So a little shy of where we were projecting to be at with our revenues coming in, but we should likely see all those come in the next couple of months here. And looking at our expenditures, we're actually at about 80% as well of what we budgeted for our expenditures. Coming up here, obviously at the end of the year, every year, we do a large payout at the end of the year, which covers about 5 pay periods for our teachers for the summer. Our average payroll is actually about $1.4 million every 2 weeks approximately, or we have 2 payrolls per month. So looking at those 5 pay periods, I did look back at last year, and that payroll was about $9.1 million that we put out at that summertime payroll. So just looking at our total budget, we were planning to be at a deficit of about $1.3 million, which was planned to end the year in June. Right now, we're at about a deficit of 328,000. So, factoring in that final large payroll, I would say we are likely going to come in approximately where we were budgeted at that deficit. So we'll keep an eye on it and continue to share monthly.
Thanks, Sarah. Next item is the board reports or updates. Anybody have any updates?
Last week was the Pride and Tiger meeting, but then I forget what night it was, but they had their award ceremony.
Wednesday.
Yeah, so that was really cool. They had over 240,000, largest they've ever given out to students. So that was really fun to watch all the kids go through.
Thank you, Sarah. Anybody else? Next item is our administrative reports. Jeremy.
A lot of things to share end of the year and just busy at all the schools. I'm going to start with Parkside. Kindergarten students, Darcy shares, very excited to welcome grandparents and special friends in their classrooms recently. They had their grandparents or a special person could come with them. They went to lunchroom. They made some different crafts, some bookmarks, role played a grandparent, and did a sheet all about grandpa or grandma. And then they talked about then and now and just had a really fun morning with grandparents at Parkside. So those are always fun activities to do. Darcy also shares that as the end of the year approaches, we're measuring students' academic growth. Beth talked about this in her presentation. Finishing up the DIBELS testing at Parkside, those preliminary results looked phenomenal. Students and staff have worked very hard this year. We also know that as a lot of students grow in ways that we can't measure through assessments. The student who started the year very shy and timid has become confident and outgoing. The student who cried every day because they missed their family have now blossomed and become independent. The list of examples could go on and on. It's important to remember that all gains can't be measured through a test, so we celebrate many successes and learn from assessment results and continue to serve and support our students as they become little scholars. So I like that quote that she included in her report. In his report this month, Pete shares he had a total of 6 staff members from Southview recently attend the National Bar Conference. They're in their second year of learning, so it was a good time to get some people there. I think he's got a couple fun pictures on his presentation, joined by middle school and high school staff as well. Main speaker this year is PJ Fleck, and he did a great job talking through building relationships with his athletes and developing the whole person. Also had a chance to attend several small group presentations. Staff that attended said that they came away from the conference feeling they were headed in the right direction at Southview. He also shares they ended the month of April with the 6th straight month of lowered numbers of unexcused absences compared to last year. So that's some of the pieces they're measuring through BAR, and certainly a success with that. Middle school report, Peggy shares that on May 13th, they had 160 middle school students attend the Science and Nature Conference at SMSU. That was a record-breaking number for us. It's more than we've ever had go before. I heard a lot of very positive things about this year. Keynote speaker was Dr. Tyrone Carter. He is known as Dr. Fun, so who wouldn't want to go a session with Dr. Fun? He serves as Director of Marketing and Curriculum Design for America's Fun Science. His organization promotes hand-on science enrichment and STEAM programs across Minnesota. Students also had the opportunity to attend a variety of engaging breakout sessions throughout the day. She also shares in the second year of BAR, one of the building-wide goals at the middle school has been to reduce absenteeism, track that data and report it back with BAR. Last year, the chronic absentee rate was 18%. This year, through the BAR efforts, they're seeing consistent improvement, maintaining right around 14%. Our goal as a district is overall over 5 years to reduce that 18% by 50. So cutting it in half at all sites. So they're well on their way this first year at the middle school. We'll continue to prioritize that goal next year. Additionally, 6 middle school staff members, she talks about the BAR conference as well, where in Palm Springs, California, returned energized with new strategies and insights to share. She also shares that concert season is in full swing with band, choir, and orchestra students preparing for their spring performances during the final 2 weeks of school. And we had a couple band concerts last week. I don't know if you guys made those, but they were very well done. Celebrated Teacher Appreciation Week with a variety of treats and surprises generously provided by PTA and Student Council. End of the week with fun, competitive, but friendly game of dodgeball. So I think the students really enjoyed that as well. High school, of course, always a lot of things high school end of the year. Saturday, April 26th, we had prom and after prom at the high school. He throws out a big thank you to Gretchen Stelter and Nicole Jans, along with the numerous high school staff who worked the events in that evening and many parents who also volunteered to help. The event would not be possible without them and the generous community donations that make the night possible for the students. It was a good event this year. Scholarship ceremony, Sarah mentioned that was last Wednesday. Over 190 awards were presented to 136 students, totaling over $242,000. Wonderful night, just demonstrates the generosity of our community and the accomplishments of our senior class. Last month, also exciting, the high school Tiger Cafe program was recognized by the Minnesota Association of Secondary Schools and Horace Mann as a 24-25 Star of Innovation Award winner. The high school was one of 9 schools receiving the Silver Star recognition for work in helping students gain valuable job experience while remaining at the high school. Thank you to Nicole Jans, Carrie Loft, and Gretchen Stelter, who helped run that Tiger Cafe. I know they did a board presentation a couple months ago. He also highlights HOSA, it's the Future Health Professionals, a group that was formed second semester. Since the first meeting in January, we have had 21 high school students attend meetings. These students were given the opportunity to tour Avera recently, where the students learned about careers and leadership opportunities that Avera Marshall has in place. Students asked great questions in each area and were excited to learn about different career paths. Finally, Brian shares that high school administrators, himself and Dan Hoffman, presented at Sunrise Rotary recently. The meeting started at the YMCA and then they went out to the CTI Center. Rotarians got a tour of the Health and Science Lab along with explanation of the different classes. In the tour, they went to the transportation room, talked about they announced the advanced small engines and power sports classes we'll be offering next year, along with the advanced automotive classes. And the participants each received a Rotary metal coaster. I was going to bring mine. It's a cog about 4 inches in circles. Fun thing to give that the students had made in class. ALC update, he shares that excited getting close to graduation. That's this Friday at 2 p.m. in the Learning Center gym at the new site. Board members are all welcome to attend. We're expecting about 20 graduates this year, so lots of graduates at CTI this year are from ALC, both online and in-person students we recognize at that event. Special Ed this month, Jackie highlights special education, physical therapy, and occupational therapy services. These services are provided to students in special ed who demonstrated an educational need in the areas of motor or sensory that impact their ability to function at school. Services for children ages birth to 2 receive services at home or in other primary care environment to allow for the education of parent or caregivers to support the child between their sessions. At school, students receive services as a push-in to the regular classroom or in one-to-one setting as necessary. Part of the therapist's role at school is to provide indirect services that include consultation with case managers, classroom teachers, paraprofessionals, nurses, and other therapists. Activities, well, today was not a great spring activity weather day. We have had a really good spring and a lot of success with our teams. Girls golf team captured Big South Conference Championship and with a strong performance at Dakota Ridge. Tigers showed depth and skill throughout the season, culminating in 3 athletes earning an all-conference honors. This marks a significant achievement for the program and highlights and continued development of our talented golfers. Boys golf team had an impressive season as well, finishing second in the Big South Conference after a tightly contested race. 3 members of the team were recognized for outstanding play and received all conference honors. Baseball team hosted Fairmont this past Saturday and won the Big South Championship game. Tigers entered the matchup as defending conference champions. Now the team is preparing for postseason play with section playoffs beginning the final week of May. A couple of other things to note with activities area. Blue Earth area has officially voted to leave the Big South Conference following conclusion of the 27 spring season. They have to give the 2-year notice with their leaving. In response, the conference leadership is evaluating future options to maintain a balance of competitive equity and reasonable travel for all member schools. So just stay tuned for more to come on that. Also, with the conference coaches in the 4A voted to implement a new football schedule model that prioritizes matchups between section opponents. So change with football schedule for next year. It's designed to foster more meaningful games and better prepare teams for postseason competition. The new schedule has created some concerns that have been addressed. I know there was some conversation early on about some things that have come out, and Mitch feels they have addressed those. We anticipate receiving the finalized schedule in the coming days. We don't have it yet, but fans can expect to see new opponents not previously featured on the schedule in recent years. Also, just last week, Mitch was able to participate in the High School League Representative Assembly. The Assembly approved all proposed updates and bylaws regarding the eligibility of ninth graders entering the High School League. This comprehensive review allowed athletic and activity directors across the state to clarify and align policies, ensuring consistency and transparency moving forward. The motion passed overwhelmingly by a 43-1 vote. So that we've kind of talked about that for about a year. So that is official. That will happen this fall. In her report, Beth shares, we're excited to report, and she shared this in her presentation too, but all 106 teachers and 5 administrators have completely completed the READ Act training. I didn't write that very well. We truly appreciate everyone's dedication to finishing the training, and I look forward to continuing our work as we continue to work on implementing what we learned throughout the year. Also want to share an email, and she has this in her presentation too, that we got from one of the OLA facilitators, without us asking, and sent this out, and we thought this was meaningful. The presenter shared, I'm currently in the process of grading the portfolios for cohort 2. I want to take a moment to share how much I've enjoyed working with this group of teachers and their principal, Mr. Peter Thor. They've submitted thoughtful, reflective work throughout the course, and their engagement in the live sessions and activities has been truly outstanding. It's clear that Mr. Thor leads by example, and his leadership has a positive influence on the group. It's been a genuine pleasure to facilitate this course. So Southview is a great team, and they've done great work throughout that, and it was just fun to hear that from the facilitator who had no need to reach out and tell us that, but it was very nice of her to share that. So Julie, I don't know if that was your team or not, but we'll give you credit for it.
Thanks.
Okay. Finance. You want me to share yours, Sarah? Employee open enrollment for benefit was successfully completed on May 9th. Building Blocks shared feedback they received, and we had 113 employees respond positively. We'll now be moving into the process of renewing all employee enrollments for the changes and updating the payroll deductions starting July 1st. Also shares the bulk of the time this last month was spent working on putting together a preliminary budget for next year. Over the last week, she's really been busy making a lot of progress in organizing and planning meetings with building administrators, technology, operations, all those different departments as part of planning that next year's budget, reviewing the department needs and what's going to be built into that. So thank you, Sarah, for your work on that. Finally, in her report, Tricia shares a few updates with you this month. The bike path near Parkside Elementary. Marshall Public Schools and the City of Marshall administration will be meeting to discuss a proposed 8-foot wide bike trail that would happen in front of Parkside Elementary. The route would move the sidewalk 24 feet off the road to keep the snow off the bike path and allow for safety of those using the path. Feel it's a great enhancement to the current sidewalk and look forward to working with that project. She also shares that School Boards Association has partnered with the Go Green Initiative on an EPA-funded program to improve indoor air quality and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Each year, 10 school districts are chosen to receive on-the-ground technical assistance and a $50,000 grant that enacts the IAQ management plans. We've submitted an application and hope we are chosen for that $50,000 that would be used toward the high school building automated control project that we're doing this summer. Hoping to hear back around June 15th if we receive that grant, so stay tuned on that. Finally, she shares we're nearly at the end of hiring for the 25-26 school year, only a few positions remaining to fill. Please help us spread the word. We have remaining positions include school health aide, elementary special ed teacher, social emotional teacher elementary, and we're seeking paraprofessionals positions at all grade levels with that. So if you know anyone that might be interested, pass the word on for that. That's what I have, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Jeremy. Next item is action item approval of superintendent's incentive compensation for 24-25 school year.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Motion by Jeff and seconded by Sarah Runcie. Any further discussion? These are just for new people, goals that are part of Jeremy's contract that we approved last year, the two that are listed here. So is there any further discussion? I'll call for the vote.
There we go.
Get it?
Yep.
And that is approved. Before I adjourn the meeting, just want to remind you all, tomorrow morning is the high school convocation, and that starts, Rick, that starts at 8:15, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's tomorrow,
It is
right?
tomorrow. Yes, you're right. I had to get that Christina.
So it is a great ceremony and event to attend, so I'd encourage you to attend if you can. So with that, I will adjourn the meeting. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.